The broker you choose really affects how safe your money is and how much you pay in fees and how easy it is to manage your money and even how much you can grow your wealth over time. In today's video, I will break down the best stockbrokers in Switzerland. I will cover the pros and cons, the fees and features, and which one might be the best for you. I will also share my personal recommendation just based on my own experience. Hey, I'm Charlene, your investment coach in Switzerland with over 10 years banking experience. Hit the subscribe button and like this video so you don't miss on any upcoming free money tips. So what is a stockbroker? Imagine you want to buy a bottle of Coca-Cola in Switzerland. You can buy it in Gulp, right? Or in Migros, or in a really small kiosk. And these kind of small or big supermarkets act as the middleman between you and the product, Coca-Cola. And in finance, stockbrokers work the same way. They're just like Gulp or Migros. But instead of selling you drinks and food, they sell you investment products, stocks, for example. So some people call it an investment broker or investment platform or whatever they call it. They're all the same thing. I know those finance guys, they really like to confuse people, so they make everything more complicated than they should be. So for example, if you want to buy a Google stock or an Amazon stock, you cannot just go to their official website and say, hey, I want to buy a share of your company. You cannot do it. So instead, you need to sign up for a broker account to start buying stocks. And in the previous video of mine, how to choose the right investment platform, 3 things to look out for. In that video, I share 3 key things beginner investors should look out for. So make sure to check out that video for more details. But for now, let's just have a quick recap. The first one is really about security. You want to make sure your money is safe, right? So always choose a broker or investment platform that is regulated by a trusted financial regulator. So for example, here in Switzerland, the regulator is called what? FINMA, right? Yes. And this helps protect your investment really in case something really goes wrong. I mean, touch wood, but just in case. And if a broker is not regulated, it's a big red flag. So secondly, it's about fees and market access. I know for a lot of investor or most investor, this is really big. And some brokers, they charge high fees for every trade and others are much cheaper. So even small fees can add up really huge at the end of the day, cutting into your profits. And also check what markets you can access, right? For example, can you invest in the US stock market, the European stock market, the bond market, Swiss stocks, Asian stocks. So most brokers today offer access to global markets, so the global equity market or global funds market. But some, they really limit your options. Maybe it's some small one that really allow you to invest in the certain countries or certain regions. So check it out. And now let's talk about user experience, including tax reporting. And this is really annoying, especially, during some tax season. I know it's really big for some investors here in Switzerland as well. And a good user experience really reduces a lot of stress for you. And you really want a platform that is really simple and easy to navigate, right? Especially if you're new. And in Switzerland, tax reporting is very important, and some brokers make it easy for you to download tax documents, really just one click, and you have all the files ready, but some don't. So this can be a little bit headache during tax season. And as the investor, we really need to know there are 2 types of brokers out there. And one is traditional banks. Another one is online banks or online brokers. And before we move on to this topic, I just wanted to say if you're an expat in Switzerland and being confused about how to get started in investing, and I've actually created a step-by-step investment course, free one, just for you. You can sign up for the next lesson, so it's completely free, but with only limited spots. I've already put the link in the description area, the register link, so do sign up before the spots fill up. And now let's talk about traditional banks. In Switzerland, almost every bank offers brokerage services, right? Like for example, UBS, KB, Credit Suisse before, and Migros Bank. So you can walk into their branch and open a stockbrokers, I believe, just a stockbroker account and start buying stocks. And there's no doubt they are very, very safe, and they have both online platforms and physical branches. I know for many people, gives you a kind of really strong sense of security. My family in Switzerland, for example, we used to have stock accounts with some traditional banks like UBS and previously Credit Suisse through their private banking services. And however, the key issues are they are too expensive. And the fees can be really, really high. It depends on how much money you invest. And back then we paid, I would say, thousands in custody fees, transaction fees, and advisory fees. It depends on how much you have and what the need that you want through them, right? So to be really honest, me, myself, I'm a banking professional. So it may sound a little bit arrogant, but I do not need their advisory. And most of the time, bankers, they are just selling you, or they try to sell you expensive mutual funds so they can earn very high commissions. So I've been an investor for over 10 years by myself. I know what I'm doing. So in fact, I often know, I would say it sounds arrogant again, but I often know more than those so-called advisors or bankers. And having said that, traditional banks, they do offer some value to some investors. For example, if you have a little bit more money, let's say 100K, 1 million or more, they can give you access to private markets, for example, private equity deals or private debt deal. So we're not going to talk about them here, but they do sometimes provide you a bit more value than some online brokers or online banks. And this isn't really relevant for some small investors. For example, if you are just starting out with 5,000 or 10,000 or even 100,000. So I would say I wouldn't recommend you to go with UBS or ZKB, this kind of traditional banks, mainly because the fees are too high and it's unnecessary. So now let's talk about online brokers. So you probably heard the name like Swissquote, Interactive Brokers, Saxo Bank, these kind of names. So these are all online platforms that let you buy and sell stocks, ETFs, bonds, and more. And the biggest advantage for these online brokers is they are cheaper compared with what we talk about traditional banks. And this means you can actually keep more of your investment profits on your side. And plus, they are super, super convenient. You can open an account online and buy and sell stocks, anytime you want, as long as the market is open, right? And manage everything from your laptop or just your phone. And you do not need to visit even the physical branch or deal with paperwork, everything. It can be done online. And now let me just quickly go through some of the popular ones for you regarding online banks. The first one is ID Interactive Brokers. And this is really one of the most popular platforms. It's not only in Switzerland, it's a US-based company. It's basically across the globe, especially for professional investors. And the pros are, it's extremely low fees. It's extremely cheap, and it provides you access to global markets. I just mentioned US, Europe, Asia, almost everywhere. And they really have great tools for advanced investors as well. But the cons are the interface can be quite complicated for beginners. And it really takes time, I would say, to get used to all the features here and there. And now let's talk about Saxo Bank. I will say Saxo probably is an online broker that quite a few people or you may already use that. I would say it's quite great for some traders and investors looking for a wide range of assets as well. So to be really honest, Personally, I didn't use it before, so I did some research. I asked some of my family and friends. So the pros of it is really it provides you access to quite a large of markets as well, including stocks, ETF, foreign exchange, so on and so forth. I wouldn't say it limits your options, for example. And secondly, it really offers you some advanced tools as well. And then I would also say it has strong reputation and regulated in different countries as well. And the cons of it is like compared with Interactive Brokers, it also is a bit more expensive for sure. And what I heard, this thing I didn't verify, pardon me, but I heard they charge you inactive fees if you don't trade actively. So correct me if I'm wrong here. And now let's talk about Swissquote. This is the Swiss-based online bank or online broker. So it's regulated directly here in Switzerland. And the pros of it is like it really has really strong reputation. It's really safe and secure, directly regulated here in Switzerland. And It's really good if you prefer a local platform, especially. And another key point I would like to mention is like, since it's directly regulated here in Switzerland, during tax season, everything can be super, super convenient and fast for you. Just one click, you have all the investment related tax documents ready. So personally, I use Swissquote, and it's really good. I like it. But the cons is like, it definitely, you pay higher fees compared with IB, compared with interactive brokers, compared with Saxo. So depends on what you prefer, what your need is, right? And now I just want to share a quick story about my investment journey. And when I was living in Hong Kong, interactive brokers, or IB, whatever you call it, was my main broker. But when I moved to Switzerland in 2022, I started using Swissquote. So now I have both, mainly because the tax reporting benefits and the accessibility of the services here directly in Switzerland. If I need something, I can just like call them, I can leave a message. And if you have any questions, their live chat is well run, and you always get a real human being behind answering your question. And personally, I even have a dedicated contact person at Swissquote. So once your capital reaches a certain level, you will get kind of like a personal support. So what I want you to say here is, at the end of the day, the best broker depends on your personal needs and your budget, your investing style, and how comfortable you are with different platforms. But stay simple. You don't have to open like 5 different accounts and just put like 10K here, 5K here. To me, it's really insane. Please stay simple. And I know actually at the end of the day, a lot of people in the end are really indecisive between 2 brokers. One is IB, Interactive Broker. One is Swissquote. So which should you choose? So don't worry. Actually, I've made a detailed video comparing just these 2 brokers. And the video link here is right here and also in the description area. And if you're feeling overwhelmed by investing, all the investment terms and the steps, don't worry. Like I mentioned, I've already created a step-by-step investment course just for you. It's completely free. Best balls are limited. I've packed my 10 years banking experience into this 1-hour live training. The sign up link is in the description. Sign up now and I will see you soon.